On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, our producer reviews a small fishing device that you shouldn't go offshore without. I will announce the winner of last week's photo contest. We check in with our correspondents, and I go around the island with reports and notable catches, all here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today's Thursday, August 10th, 2023, and I'm coming to you from Island Yacht Sales in Lindenhurst. In this week's digital edition of the Fisherman magazine, New England editor Dave Anderson has a great read on how the migrating bait affects the fishing. Alan Riley shares his insights on products like gulp and fish bites. Tony Gatto has tips on going light for tuna to increase your catch, and Joe Pellegrini writes about bucktail basics. One of the nice features of the digital edition is the related videos are embedded right into the articles, sharing even more fishing knowledge. Good reason to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine is that you are automatically entered into the Dreamboat contest and your chance to win a center console from Steigercraft powered by Yamaha. For only $30, you get 12 glossy print issues and all digital issues sent to your inbox. It is one of the best deals going out there. Now let's get to the actual 2023 Dreamboat Challenge update with Tim C. Smith.
This week, Tom Kelly of West Islip weighed in a 2.75-pound sea robin that pushed second place Eddie Terrabile down by 1 point and out of the sea robin category. Eddie does remain in second place for total points. No other changes to the leaderboard, but we did see a nice 2.5-pound scup entered by George Miranda of Hamburg, New Jersey, which places him in 5th place in the Porgy division. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a 21-foot Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action.
The thrill of heading offshore for big game fish is the ultimate experience, and the fishing's good right now for them. But you can't forget about safety. Your cell phone is definitely useless when you're out that deep, but Garmin has a solution.
This is a non-biased review of the Garmin inReach. I bought this little unit last year, so it's not sponsored by anybody. This is the time of year when you're offshore chasing tuna and other pelagic species. Safety is no accident, so having a satellite communicator like this will give you peace of mind. When things go wrong, it happens quickly, and you can't always rely on your VHF to get the distress signal out. The Garmin inReach has an SOS button so that you can be rescued no matter where you are in the world. Of course, this comes with a price. There's a monthly fee from $15 a month to $65 a month, depending on your needs. The Garmin inReach will connect through your Bluetooth to your phone so you can send out a text message to anybody without having cell phone service. Another benefit is this unit will track your location every 10 minutes and post that position on a private website that you can share with anyone. The unit is not cheap at $400, but that's a small price to pay for your safety. Whenever I travel, the unit comes with me, hiking, fishing, off-roading. The Garmin inReach has many other features. I just touched on some of them. On the negative side, I wish I could send photos through the satellite communicator. Who knows, maybe that's a feature for the future. The bottom line is, I would recommend this Garmin inReach. This is Tim C. Smith for thefisherman.com.
Now let's get to the upcoming events. August 11th is the Freeport Tuna Shootout. On the 19th and the 20th, it's the Long Island Maritime Museum Seafood Festival. I'll be there having some seafood. Come and see me. At Captree State Park on Sunday the 20th is the Snapper and Crab Derby for kids up to 16 years old. The Staten Island Tuna Club is holding their Jim Ryan Memorial Fluke Tournament on the 26th. Also on the 26th is the Hooks for Heroes Summer Fluke Slam at a Point Lookout. And on the last weekend of August, once again, is the Long Island Sound. That is the arena for the Greatest Bluefish Tournament with a grand prize of $25,000. For all the details, visit thefisherman.com/events. Now let's go to the map to take a look at some of the recent reports and notable catches. But first, we have the winner from last week, John Samothrakis. You were selected for the Fish Bites and Spro bundle. John fished with Captain Bob from Sea Rogue Charters last week at a Freeport for this keeper fluke. Congrats, John. I will reach out to you for your info. Hey, if you guys do like big fluke, check out this one that the guys at Island Yacht over here sent me. It was caught on a 455 Everglades. John and his daughter-in-law, Hannah Papas, decked this huge 15.8-pound fluke at 6 miles out of Montauk on a white gulp grub. Well done, guys. Well done. Probably the biggest fluke I have seen this season so far. Another doormat from the West End came through this week to us. Dan the Man proved while he really is the man and put this 10.9-pound fluke on the deck of the Superhawk at a Point Lookout. Now moving on to the reports around the map, starting in the east. Excellent Montauk fluking stayed consistent again this week. Usual spots like Cartwright, Frisbees, and Rocky Hale all produce solid fish up to 15 8-point pounds, like I just mentioned. Mixed in with the fluke with some sea bass up to 4 pounds and some chunky porgies. Stripers are sporadic around the point but have taken refuge around Block Island. Offshore and midshore tuna fishing produced again for those who made the run. Yellows, bluefins, and bigeyes were all in the mix. To the west, Shinnecock Bay fluking remained another excellent option for both action and on the keepers too. Along the South Shore, fluke action still remains a top target with fish in the ocean and Moriches and the Great South Bay. Fish to 6 pounds are in the bay, while the ocean is seeing a slightly larger fish mix, but there are a ton more shorts too. Also in the ocean, cobia, triggerfish, sea bass, porgies, and Spanish mackerel have all been caught. If you want some fun, head to Fire Island Inlet and chase some Spanish mackerel right by Demo or Sore Thumb. But from what I can see, there are still plenty small, which could bode for later in the month in September. Cramming is also rock solid off the docks. Anglers tossing soft plastics are finding weak fish to 8 pounds near the Moses Bridge. Outside on the reefs and the wrecks, the sea bass fishing remained very good with enough keepers, plus a ton of shorts in the mix as well. Keep it very interesting. Overall, the fluke activity was just okay to the west of that, with some deluxe size flatties in the mix. The party boats had pool fish from 7 to 10.9 pounds on the Superhook, as you saw. Ocean fluking was somewhat better than the bay for quality. Sea bass are still in decent numbers, but keepers are getting hard to come by on those reefs out that way. Porgies are coming on strong, and fishes 16 inches were hauled in on local reefs like the AB and the McAllister. Along the North Shore, stripers remain at most rip currents along the Sound, particularly at the Triangle in the middle grounds. Plenty of small to slot-sized bass can be found inside. Most of the bays and harbors' epoxy jigs are doing the damage on the inside, while trolling or bunker chunking produces the best results outside in the harbor. While striped bass remain a good bet, the bluefish, hands down, is the week's best bet. Choppers between cocktails to 16-plus pounds can be found at just about anywhere at any time. Fluke fishing continues to also please anglers towards the western end of the Sound, while the east end sees catches of keeper fluke thinning out considerably. Porgies remain a sure bet at the deep water rock piles, while sea bass fishing remains excellent along the North Fork, and the snappers are rapidly growing at the local docks inside all of the harbors. Loads of spot are mixing in with the porgies and weakfish inside Peconics Bay as well. From Shinnecock, we're going to check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Fishing's picked up a little bit. There's actually been some smaller bass back in the flats and the bays and Moriches and throughout Shinnecock, couple of random cobia catches, the east cut of Shinnecock Inlet, some bigger bass by Ponquag Bridge, and in the inlet, a couple of overs. Nothing too spectacular, just that there are some striped bass that are being caught is a big improvement from the last few weeks with some of these water temperatures cooling down. Fluke bite's still going pretty strong, both in some of the bay spots. Moriches still very hot, and some of those deeper water spots in the ocean when the weather's cooperating can get out there. Also, the tuna bite, as close as 15 miles, and kind of all around Quambra, it seems to be like a 10-15 mile radius. Buddy of mine, Steve Fagari, got a nice one with his dad last week, which was encouraging. A couple of people that have been following the draggers didn't have as much luck as just kind of, scoping around, looking for life near any of the wrecks like Quambra and some of the other ones. So, sea bass still going strong. We're only a couple of weeks away from that bag limit going up to 6, so that'll be nice to have. And before you know it, those albies will be showing up too. So still some big blues around the inlets as well. So plenty of stuff to go after this weekend. I hope you get out there, catch a few, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Matt. Back to you.
From Northport, we have the Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle report.
Hey, it's that time of the week again for the reports, and I'm really happy to give it to you, let you know that the fishing is still doing really well. I mean, porgy fishing's great. Porgy are off the beach, they're off the dock, they're on the boats. You can go on a party boat, you can go on your own boat, whatever have you. There's a lot of porgies being caught right now. Sea bass, you got to go deep, so you got to have a boat that's going to be 50 to 70 feet deep. You got to get like these individual rock pieces or a nice little wreck there to score some nice fish, because it's tough. There's a lot of anglers out there. As far as fluke goes, fluking can be one way or the other. Inside the bay, in some areas, you have these deeper little ledges. You could be like 12 feet down to 30 feet, and the fluke could be sitting there as these waves of bait get swept either out or in on the currents. And the fluker, just look for a sandy slope, and that's a great spot to hit. As far as out in the triangle, out in the sound, shipping channels are still producing fish. You got to go, again, the word is deep. The water's 75 degrees, so the larger fish there and slot size fish, they're sitting where there's more oxygen in the water, and that's going to be in the cooler temps, so they're going to be down there. Remember, when you catch them, you're bringing them up, get them on the boat, revive them, put them back in really fast, because it's pretty hot and it can be tough reviving those fish. And with the tough slot size we have right now, it makes that tough to find, like keeper right there. So weakfish is starting to get caught. Seeing them, they're most likely going to be deep soon, so you should see that. As far as bluefish, they don't mind this warm weather. They're ripping themselves up. You might find them on one side of the bay one day and on the opposite side the following day. Don't look for them to be in the same spot like 2-3 days in a row. They like to move around. In our area, we've got like 5 different harbors, so there's always a spot for these bluefish to go in and corner a bunch of these bait fish that you see. As far as out in the triangle, talking to some of the captains, they're telling me we've got the anchovies, butterfish, and smaller bunker out there. Inside the bay, it's like all different sizes, at least 4 or 5 different distinct sizes of bunker. Sometimes they're all screwed together, other times you'll find them spread out. I find the larger bluefish are the larger bluefish are on those like 3 to 5 inch bunker, and those snappers are targeting the 1 inch peanut bunker. So there's plenty to do out there. If you're on the docks, if you're on the beach, if you're on the boat, get out there, have a great time. Don't forget to go look for those public piers, explore Long Island. When you do, go visit one of the local tackle shops, ask them for some information, buy something, say hello, and tell them we sent you there. It's always great to see you, and as always, I bid you peace and tight lines.
Jones Beach Bait Tackle and Captree Bait Tackle and Fuel, we have Brendan Rutigliano.
Thanks, Matt. I just want to let you guys know plenty of action on the piers. Captree Pier, sea bass, blowfish, porgies, kingfish, bunch of big fluke. All right, so get out there, catch all on bait, because the blowfish are just killing the gulps still. It's been like this for a couple of weeks now. If you've been out there, but get out there. There's definitely a lot of fish. We even had a nice cobia on the pier this week, but definitely just a great time to fish all together. Even the Captree boats are doing really well with cobia, fluke, striped bass, bluefish, same thing. August is like the time to go fishing if you haven't been out there. August 19th and 20th, we're doing the Snapper Derby at Captree. It's free. It's kids 16 and under. They get to win a bunch of prizes. There's a bunch of kids running around. So much fun. Jones Beach side of things, sea bass, blowfish, porgies. There's even some bluefish blitzes. All around, again, pretty good. More fish at Jones Beach, but again, they're all kind of smaller. You got to throw a lot back, but if you just want to get out there and have some fun, Jones Beach is also another option for you. On the Jones Beach side, August 26th, we're doing a snapper and blowfish tournament for kids. Same thing kind of as Captree. Kids 16 and under, they get to win prizes. It's free just to get out there and, have the kids have some fun. So get out there, guys, have fun, and we'll see you next week.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island fishing report for this week. Some big fluke around. We were in a contest. I was in a contest, club contest this weekend. We had an 8-pound fish and came in third. All fish were caught inside, not in the ocean. Also, there's a mix of bluefish, up to 10, 12 pounds. A few striped bass, keeper striped bass in the mix as well. Mostly near the inlet fishing, anywhere from Coast Guard Station to the inlet has been best. And also bottom fishing, excellent now with triggerfish, blowfish, kingfish, all around, some porgies as well. So bottom fishing, excellent as well. No word on weakfish, they're kind of scarce, but in a couple of weeks they're going to be hot and heavy. So we're looking forward to that. That's about it for this week, Matt. Take care, talk to you next week.
With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Well, hello, Matt. So this week, thank goodness, the rain has really stopped upstate. The Housatonic is down, the Farmington is down, there's trout fishing now. The Catskills had a bump up last night, but that's dropping very quickly. So there's plenty of water, making trout happy. My son and nephew actually went up to the Housatonic this past weekend, and they wanted to catch the whitefly, and they did. It was like, this is an incredible hatch that happens right at dark. It's like a snow blizzard. They were covered in these mayflies. Makes it difficult fishing because your fly is one of billions. But they had some really good time. And the good thing is there's enough water that the trout are throughout the whole system. Normally at this time of year, you won't find trout, but there were a lot of trout. He caught a big, nice 18-inch rainbow. He caught another 18-inch smallmouth. They had a great time. Water was high, but totally fishable. So it's just like anything here. I'm actually out here guiding. I didn't do much saltwater this week, but I'm out here guiding at the Connecticut. And I like to say thank you to the crew that's out here, Matt and his crew, Caitlin, who, by the way, Caitlin does the Instagram for the park. Sign up for it. It's great Instagram. Well, my client and I caught fish. We had a great time. We had a lot of fish, in fact. A lot of hits. We landed a few. We were happy. But it was the mop fly that was really doing it. But hey, you do what you got to do, So until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Let's check in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. I'm reporting live from a newly opened Rockaway beach. It was closed yesterday due to a critically wounded woman who was attacked by a shark. As fishermen, we know there's tons of sharks in the water this time of year. The beach is open now. They do have drones flying around looking for sharks, but there's always sharks in the water whether you see them or not. In fishing news, the tuna bite is still hot. Follow Billy Hayes and the Tuna Junkie crew. They are crushing the game. I went out with Rob Connolly, spent the night at the canyons. On Saturday night we got on a couple yellowfin, some tilefish, caught baby sailfish, which was super cool. A lot of life out there right now, a lot of bait. I do see that the bunker schools are being scooped up by boats and airplanes. It's very hard to find bunker now in Rockaway. That might be one of the reasons. It's a controversial issue, so weigh in on that, whether they should be allowed to scoop up entire giant bunker schools using planes and huge nets. I think it's super detrimental to our fishery. Other than that, get out there, stay tight, be safe, and back to you, Matt.
Head on over to Max Finch from the Connecticut side of the Western Sound.
We got big blues in our area, and they are chewing. The diamond jig and bite on the backside of this full moon has been fantastic. Places like 11B and 28C. But 11B has been holding the most fish, just north of the can in that deep water trench, anywhere from 100 up to 60 feet. Plain diamond jigs like your 87s, 67s, and then, your favorite colors with the tubes on the back. But it's been a lights out bite, and there's actually been some really quality bass mixed in as well. So we got the Bluefish tournament coming up the end of this month, so it seems like we're smocked up in big blues, and hopefully they stick around. If you do want to cover some more, areas for bluefish, trolling mid-sound with wire, with umbrellas, deep diving plugs, stuff like that works really well, bunker spoons. And it seems like the blues are coming into our harbors, harassing all these adult bunker. I've seen a lot of nice fish caught in off-pasture pier. Sherwood Island, I've seen people down to the west, Greenwich, Mamaroneck, Stanford, they're getting big blues from the shore. So it seems like we're pretty filled in everywhere. And then to our east, Middle Ground still has a lot of big bluefish. And then Middle Ground, Stratford Shoals, they actually still have a really good summer bass bite going on. I've seen fish, 25 all the way up to 40 pounds on flutter spoons, 3-way and live bunker, guys dragging tube and worm, umbrella rigs and mojos. The porgy bite, this time of year is red hot. Deep water reefs, shallow water reefs, and all along our beaches. So Sherwood Island, Calf Pasture Park, sandworm seems to be everybody's favorite, squid, and then clams. Guys from the boat, always bring clam chum. If you want to get on some deeper water wrecks, you can get some nice sea bass mixed in. Outside Kakini or outside Middle Passage, the Celtic wreck, 28C, and then the deep parts of 28C too. But clam chum helps bring all the fish to your boat, keep them at your boat, and then, you're just dropping down your jigs, high-low rigs with bait. Summer fluking is summer fluking. It's a little bit of a grind. You got to put in some time, but they are there to be had. I've seen fish to like 6 pounds. I talked to a couple guys this week. They got their limits, but they got to bounce around a lot. You got to be marking a lot of the bait on the bottom. So if you're marking a lot of, bait on the bottom, that would be a good place to start fluking with bucktails or drifting rigs. But can 26, can 24, and then, OB buoy is always good this time of year. Smithtown Bay, if people want to take a ride across, the beaches of Port Jeff have been good. And this time of year it gets tricky with fluke. They can be a deep water or shallow water with all this peanut bunker around and spearing. So definitely bounce around. If you catch a keeper, hit a mark or a man overboard button, whatever you have, and just keep kind of pounding that area. And then on the tuna side, the shop's been super busy this past month with tuna stuff in July. The tuna bite has been nothing but extraordinary. It's been great south of Block, off Montauk. The dump has been going, strong for almost 7 weeks now. We've seen bluefin and yellowfin. Seemed like this past week, a lot of the yellowfin has moved around, but there's still a lot of those 40 to 60 inch class, bluefin around. I was able to get out a couple times myself on my boat. My fiance Lauren, she got a really nice yellowfin up and close. We had tons of bluefin. We fought a couple giant bluefin, released them. We got a nice one in the 70 inch range, but it's been great. So places like the Suffolk to Ryan's Horn seems to be the hot spot. There's a lot of like 50 to 60 inch class bluefin there. You got Tuna Ridge has been good. The Gully, remember to fish around the life. Side trackers, daisy chains for guys that are trolling have been really good. Ronzis you can put on flatline clips and troll. And then, we had a couple fish on dead stick Ronzis while we're jigging. And I know a lot of people do it, but it's very popular. We're really stocked up on Ronzis. And then it seems like the jig bite now is really starting to go strong. So jigging around all the life is really good right now. And we're starting to approach, we're basically in it, is chunking season for tuna. So, you can bring butterfish flats, sardine flats, mackerel flats out there with you. But this time where you can start chunking them, get a nice chum slick going, and you can get all the tuna to your boat, and you can virtually watch them eat your bait right out of your spool. Thanks and good luck.
If you would like to be a part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we are looking for social media savvy anglers for hyper-local reporting from the New York Metro and Long Island area, and especially you beach anglers. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact my producer at tcslabayret@gmail.com. Hey, the Fisherman magazine has launched their apparel store. We have our hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, all on sale now, and free shipping with orders over $100. It's a perfect gift for yourself. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Remember to like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And be sure to check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. And please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. Also, don't forget this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Search for the Fisherman Magazine Podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our additional content. Saturday and Sunday look absolutely amazing for fishing this weekend. You might even catch me out there drifting the shallows for fluke. Look forward to reporting in next Thursday. In the meantime, tight lines. Good luck around the island. We'll see you next week at thefisherman.com.